For the first time in Explomo history, we are exploring abandoned places in the eastern side of Europe. Our first country on the list is Poland. We start our journey deep into the Polish countryside, where a lonely house is standing amidst the fields. Built in 1928, what tales does it still hold within its weathered walls? That's what we're here to find out. From what we know, Mrs. Gertruda lived a long and storied life here, caring for Norbert after her divorce. Their life was filled with the beauty of simplicity, immersed in the rhythms of farming and the company of their cattle. Picture it, a quaint farmhouse surrounded by fields of grain and a gentle rustle of leaves. In 2016, Mrs. Gertruda was 95 years old and quietly passed away, leaving behind a lifetime of memories within the walls of her humble home. In the wake of her loss, her son Norbert remained living inside. Yet, his presence was fleeting, and not much later, he vanished without a trace, leaving the house to the whispers of history. As his whereabouts remained unclear and time marched on, the house became lonelier than ever before. Join us now as we go in search of answers and breathe new life into this forgotten corner of the world. Welcome everybody, a brand new country where at least I've never been before. Raymond has been here before, but not for exploring, and we are currently in Poland. As you can tell, in the middle of the countryside. It's still very early, although it might not seem like that because it's gonna be a very sunny day today, and we are gonna explore the abandoned home of Mrs. Gertruda, who lived there together with her son Norbert. Now, as far as we know, in 2016 Mrs. Gertruda was 94 years old, and that was shortly before she passed away. And then eventually Norbert was living here together with Mrs. Gertruda, but eventually she passed away and Norbert was living here for a very short time, and then he just disappeared without a trace. Now, these people, they were farmers and they raised cattle, so they had horses, they had pigs. And they just lived there, and you can already see the house over there in the distance, and that's the house that we're gonna explore. So we're going for a little hike, and see you when we're there. Okay, so we're nearing the premises. Currently walking over the driveway. I'm not sure if we have to hop the fence or that we can walk around. But I think we're firstly gonna check if the fence is open and then just walk around.
Oh, actually yes.
Welcome to Poland.
Yes. What is quite odd is you can tell that a car drove here quite recently.
You can tell they were farmers. I already see a shed on the right hand side. And this must be the house at number 10. Looks quite cool, right?
Yeah, it looks quite cool.
And I already saw the entrance as well.
The window, you mean?
Yeah, that must be the entrance.
I do think that there is a farmer still using this.
No, it doesn't really look like it. It's all very overgrown. You can tell that he hasn't been out there for a long time. There is no single trace.
No. Besides the tires over here. What is in the shed? Let's first do the sheds and then do the house, man.
Okay.
Well, some farming tools.
Still a lot of wood in here.
Yeah.
Wood stock.
Yeah. Just agriculture, man. They were definitely like professional farmers.
Oh yeah. I think they really earned their life costs with it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's check out the other shed right now next door. This one looks relatively more old.
I can feel cobwebs all around, man. You too?
I haven't really felt them yet, but at least that's a good sign. Then this place is not very explored yet. Seems that this door is open.
Damn. What is that?
You can walk to the right over here as well. Well, over here I can definitely feel cobwebs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we also told in the introduction, they raised horses and pigs. These were probably the parts where these animals were actually held.
We're sitting, yep. It's quite cool, man. Just
Where they would drink. And this is all the hay they would eat.
typical farm life, you know? Typical. This is also very cool. Did we actually ever found this? Something lurking in the bushes.
You were wondering if we ever found this? Plenty of times, right?
Yeah. But like with them all separated, you know. Normally we find like big barns. I not oftenly find them like all separated, like you're on a.
Well, I've seen this multiple times. This
cow
is like typically for all the cattle.
Yeah, true.
You also see this a lot in Belgium. I've seen in Italy.
This is just a big pile of stories of. I have no clue what it actually is.
Looks like a lot of waste.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of plastic bags. They all just dumped it here.
Yeah.
But I'm actually curious for the house right now.
Yeah, man.
Let's have a peek inside. Well, this was once the front door. I think it's not open, but you can always try. Oh,
It's open.
hey, front door is just open.
Okay.
We don't even know what this place is gonna be like, to be honest, guys. It's gonna be a total surprise.
Yeah.
What I find already really cool to see over here is the fact that ivy is just completely merging inside the home.
All right. Well, our first ever.
Abandoned house in Poland.
Yep.
There we are. Oh, there are literally just cobwebs right in front of me over here.
You can tell that people haven't been in there for a very long time.
We have a little iron coat rack over here where they could hang up their coats. And I already see some beautiful rooms, to be honest. Well, I'm quite surprised already.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Even some pictures, right?
Yeah. Look, that's on their marriage day.
Yeah.
This is them as well. Over here are some old receipts.
You knew the name. But what
It's
is
from
it?
2018, actually.
No, 84, right? Come on, it's not 18.
2018.
All right, that's quite strange.
Yeah.
That's not that long ago, actually. Well, maybe open up this because this is the door where we actually could go through the window. Damn. Bro, like everything's
It's a
left
bedroom.
Yeah, man.
All the boots and the shoes are over here.
But it's like completely furnished, like fully left.
It's crazy. Wasn't really expecting that at all.
No, me neither. All right, man. Maybe put on some gloves. Well, no. Put on some gloves. Put on the masks. Perfect. So we can finally see some things. This is actually quite strange. It's a mirror of a car, yeah. And as you can tell over here, the man used to shape himself.
Look at the radio too.
Rolling sticks. Some mechanical parts. And I love the DK in here, man.
𝗦𝘁cie𝗿𝘆𝗶.
And I really, what I said, like, I love the DK.
A lot of cobwebs, some fake plants,
Yeah.
from plastic. We often get comments, how is it possible that there are still fresh plants? Well, they're fake plants, that's why.
They're from plastic.
Still some beautiful clothes in here.
But look at the cobwebs again. Unreal, right?
Yeah, you don't often see this like that in France. Like, places are more explored, and over here in Poland there are not that many explorers. Also, all the details over here on the shelves, still present.
Very neat, very neat. Also over here, still present. Some cups actually. A makeup kit, so the man was definitely not living here alone.
It was a woman that lived there,
A woman.
and she lived there together with her son.
Okay. Another old picture. Well. Damn, things are falling apart, man.
I actually really like these sconces. I've never seen them like that. I assume very Polish. Never seen them like in this style. That's really cool to see.
I really like the typical design of the house. I mean, it's so strange that we have like a television over here, some food products, which you're filming us right now. We even have a bottle of 𝗦𝘁cie. And then also mechanical stuff and clothes. I mean, everything is just packed in one place. There is no logic pattern, I would say.
Also the round curve over here.
Yeah.
The wall.
But you get what I mean, right? Like, there is no logic system.
Order.
Yeah.
Crucifix.
Yep. No wallet.
There used to be a stove over here. That one is right now gone.
Used to be, yeah. Well, all the clothes just dumped over here.
Only thing we haven't pointed out yet is this frame.
Oh yeah, yeah. Probably in a beautiful area.
Maybe their dream house. What they
knows?
once dreamed of.
Who knows?
Let's firstly go to this room over here. Right on the opposite side, and I think it's the kitchen. Oh, and another bed over here too.
It's quite strange.
But I'm really surprised with how untouched this place is. I mean, have a look. That's just crazy.
These are also very beautiful.
They really are.
Yeah, and they're made in Poland.
It's just pristine.
Yeah, it is. It is just pristine, man.
It's a quite strange place for a bed over here.
People used to live with families inside of these places, huh? Need to imagine that.
Well, in this case, it was just a woman and her son.
Yeah, but like, for example, I've seen it like on documentaries. That these people live with many people in small houses. What is that?
I think that was a hat.
No.
No, there was not really a shape to put your head in.
No. It's quite strange. Yeah, as you can tell. This is also strange. You see them? They've been stored all over the place. Why?
Maybe they just collected them to eventually can their vegetables and food.
Maybe. Oh, look at the colors, man. You can tell it has been opened for a long time. I mean, it's even completely stuck over here. No, I can't open it up.
It looks like somebody also put a nail in there, you see?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's maybe why.
Wow.
Maybe still some valuable stuff in there.
Could be, could be.
Still some women's shoes over here. I don't know what this room was supposed to be, but I see a bath, so maybe it was supposed to become a bathroom or was a shower once, but I would not even go in there for a morning shower if you offer me 1,000 euros. So dirty.
Yeah?
And yeah, no ambience at all. Over here are still plenty of clothes again.
Again, many clothes left, yeah. Even this cool hat on top.
Oh yeah.
Oh, once belonged to a sewing machine. Well, and then just this random table over here. With again, shoes right next to it.
There are plenty of shoes in this place, right?
Yeah.
In every room we've been in so far, there are shoes.
Do you think this was the toilet area?
I don't think so, since there are wardrobes and there is a sewing machine.
But why is that thing over there and then
That
this
bucket. I don't know, I think that bucket wasn't for doing your toilet things. I think that belonged to the kitchen.
I don't know. Have you actually seen that clock? It is a clock over there.
Yeah, I've seen it. Oh, there was even cannabis oil over here. Whoa, this is beautiful. I think this was some sort of dining room.
Yeah, I do think so. Like their main room.
Over here, all those religious items. Over here we can also see a letter of Mrs. Gertruda that lived there together with her son Norbert.
Wow. All the old glasses.
And porcelain.
Porcelain, exactly. Table. I mean, this really looks like a chair from this part of Europe, man. You don't think so? It's very simple. It's also very hard. Like, absolutely not comfortable now. You need have a try. Have a try.
Nah, it's not. It's not really like the softness that you often have in Western Europe, in Portugal, for example, in Spain, in France. Very different. Oh, look at this! I really like the stove. It's very different than stoves I've seen in Sweden, for example, or stoves we've seen in France and Belgium.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks very different.
And then we have a pristine bedroom with the bed still made up.
Yep. Religious. I'm flabbergasted by the cobwebs, man. I mean, they come in so easily over here. But it's also due to humid conditions, right?
Well, I think it also has to do with the hay and the sheds, because there are also a lot of spiders over there.
True, true. You can see the clothes just being left over here.
Look on the ground where we're standing on. Those are kind of floor carpets.
Yeah, they are. And then look over here. The walking canes. Alright, open this up. Some more clothes. Yep. sheets, blankets. This one contains probably a lot of clothes.
Whoa. Yeah, you can tell there are a lot of women's clothes. Belts as well.
Yeah.
So sad to see all those beautiful clothes of Mrs. Gertruda. Why did her son Norbert just disappear without a trace and never retrieved his mother's belongings?
Quite sad, right?
It is a sad story, but it is also a story which raises a lot of questions. Just the why.
For me it raises a lot of questions like, how is this place not abandoned for super long, you know?
Well, we have one final room on the down floor, and that's this one. And I think everything is still in here. Wow. Check that out. It's really rare to encounter such an untouched place in Poland.
Yep. Yeah,
Wondering if we're even gonna find an untouched home that's equal to this one. It's really rare.
Very unique actually that this is our first explore, because I'm like, yeah, Mo, you were like, yeah, Raymond, don't expect too much of it. And now I'm seeing this, I mean, this could just be like a good abandoned house in Belgium, you know?
Yeah. We have a little book over here. If you maybe want to open it up, Raymond. I think it's a religious book.
Yeah, it's religion. 1989.
Also, one thing we haven't told yet, the house was built in 1928.
This is in German actually.
Well, I've actually seen her name over here, and it also looks like a German surname, 𝗏𝘗.
Yeah.
Not really a Polish surname.
No, absolutely not.
Still plants in front of the windowsill as well.
Well,
there is nothing in the fridge anymore.
Fridge. Well, there is actually one fridge that we forgot to check.
Oh, look. By the way, over here they are also on the ground.
Like I said, man, they collected these things.
I think it was really a collection right now and not really something that they made practical use from.
No, no. I really don't think so. The old stove over here and over here. It's first induction, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And in here, kitchen tools. Then let's check this one. Ooh! Oops, I don't know what is in it, but...
A spider.
Yeah. No food actually. And there is one we forgot. Let's do that. And then I do think it's already time to go upstairs, man.
3 fridges in this tiny home. But this one as well.
Empty.
It's just empty.
Ugh, nasty. So, walking upstairs. First time going upstairs. And I do think, Mo, that this is actually just an attic. That's why all the beds were on the down part.
Yeah, and we say all the beds, but it's actually only 3, so it makes sense that she only lived there with her son and maybe had a spare bed for a guest.
Damn.
Oh yeah, this is an attic.
Yeah.
Whoa, there are plenty of clothes, like this is some sort of thrift shop.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Why are they all on the attic?
And you feel that, by the way? That's quite strange.
The floor is uneven.
And it's stone. Like...
Well, don't do that too hard because I really felt the floor shaking.
Oh, sorry.
As solid as it might seem, given that it's stone, I think it's not that solidly built.
No.
Just the fact that there are so many clothes over here is so strange.
Yeah, man. And quite a unique design of an attic. All right.
Well, a very little house in Poland, but very surprised with the untouched condition that we actually encountered and found it in. Also really surprised that it's abandoned so recently.
Yeah, man, yeah.
There's a little bit mixed feeling, like it looks abandoned for longer, but a couple years ago people were still living here.
Living here or doing stuff in here, but now you can tell it's completely abandoned. I mean, it's fully overgrown outside. Sheds are not being used anymore. Like you already said, yeah, Quite strange, man, really strange. Well, I need to say, I really enjoyed this first explore in Poland, man. It was a very cool house and something different. The design, how everything was located, really something different. And I'm glad we are here, and I hope we will find more spots like this, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we find a bunch of houses that
True.
are this untouched, but it's always a question.
True that, true that. But if you like us exploring in Poland, and if you have another country where you think, hey boys, you really should go over there, leave that down in this comment section right down beneath this. And you know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment right down below, ring the bell notification button right up there. And then we will see you on the next adventure. Peace out.